Hey, what's up, YouTube world? It is your girl here, the Venusian Bull, and I am back with another video in my Planets in the Houses series. And in this video, we are going to be discussing Neptune in the fourth house. So just as a reminder, the fourth house has to deal with family, parents, particularly the father, home, internal feelings, nationality, lineage, early childhood upbringing, foundations, and real estate. All right, so with Neptune in the fourth house, this is a very sensitive position, much like the moon in the fourth house, but it's a little bit more, for lack of a better word, out there. A little bit more just kind of idealistic and, you know, that kind of Neptunian, like, out of body experience. This is definitely a position where um, you may experience the like encounter of like encountering spirits, and this is definitely the person that probably sages their house like especially every time they move into a new house, but just like on a regular basis, you may sage your house. It just probably always smells like incense and weed um, in that house, and just like you are just like Mother Earth and like you do your tarot, you have your candles lit, you have your music playing, and you're just like really, really chill. You may not even have couches. You got like a bean bag that you sit on. Just like everything is about you being in touch with oneself type of thing. That could be the vibe of a Neptune in the fourth house. Definitely very artistic, so it could be a lot of art everywhere all over the house. They love their paintings, they love their art, they love their music. They may also like, you know, to dance and things like that. This is somebody who could be very, very passive, very much to themselves. But they come alive when they're able to allow their creativity to kind of take hold. So they're writing music or doing a lot of painting and like sculpting in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that is happening there, and that's a way that they can definitely earn money and things like that. Doing that art. As far as your parents are concerned, your parents could have been very like much, you know, romantic and easygoing and kind of like that. You're all beautiful, we're all love, we're all one. They could have had that type of vibe, but at the same time didn't know how to parent you. They were not a disciplinarian. You got away with whatever. Like, you were able to do whatever as a child. And as a result, in some instances, you may have been neglected because your parents, may have like dropped the ball just because they're not paying attention. Neptune energy can be very absent-minded, but it could also deal with isolation and just, like I said, neglect altogether. Like, your parents could have abandoned you, at whatever age. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of didn't have that parental figure in your life. If they weren't, everything is love and just kind of those like real artsy kind of parents, then they may have been the neglectful ones. um, on drugs, drinking addiction, that type of thing could have plagued your upbringing. So like, all about addiction, all about that kind of lifestyle, or even being in like shelters or being homeless. That may have been something that you experienced, because Neptune has to deal with homelessness and the fourth house has to deal with home. So Neptune in the fourth house could deal with the lack of a home, or the loss of a home. You could have lost your home for whatever reason. Home, burnt down, or you couldn't afford, the mortgage payments or something like that, or was foreclosed on, all kinds of things. Definitely could be living in like a family haunted house type of situation with Neptune in the fourth. This is extremely intuitive energy when it comes to home and family. Like, you're the type of person that, like, if somebody in your family is going to look at houses, you're the type of person that that should go with them, because just by the vibe and the feeling, like, you can like talk to the spirits or something like that, and you could be like, energy wise, this is a good house for you, or energy wise, no, run fast, get away from here. Like, I think it's always a good idea to kind of have that intuitive energy with you when you're going to buy a new house. And a moon or Neptune or even a Pluto in the fourth house person, I think would be a really good person to do that with, just because intuitively they'll get that this doesn't feel right, or, you know, this feels like home, you know, type of vibe. So think about that the next time you look in the house. This is look up a person's chart. Look up somebody's chart in your family, see if they got Neptune in the fourth. And they don't even have to be in your family. It's just a good person to have when you're like going to look for homes and stuff like that, a new place to live. This is definitely somebody who, like, a Neptune in the fourth and a Venus in the fourth house person would do really good. Remember when I talked about that collaborative thing with the restaurant and the music and stuff? So that could really work kind of like with that appeal if you want to go that route. But like, this is definitely somebody who loves art in the house. Like, they have so much art. Like, they could probably sell it, but they're like, fourth house people are such hoarders, and they're such, you know, they're like the collectors of things. They don't want to ever get rid of anything. And a Neptune in the fourth house person may have a collection of art that they don't want to get rid of, that they either painted or that they bought, or, you know, it could be either or. But they're very, that's very like much a part of them. I would say very much a connection with like the ancestors, Neptune in the fourth. Definitely very much a connection with like the spirit world and the other realm, and your subconscious, and things like that. I would also say that your like relationship with other people in your family, they may see you as like the cuckoo person. Oh, like, there's, you know, there's Auntie Charlene with her crystal ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may get like that kind of vibe from family members, but you always are the one who knows what's gonna happen, and you're always like, this is gonna happen to you, this is gonna be this is gonna be that. And they're always like, yeah, Aunt Charlene knew. We should have had her do a reading for us. Like, you are that person, and they know. Like, even if they don't believe in it, they will still come to you for a reading. You're like, I told you. I told you. I told you. And if you're not like that, your parents were like that. You know what I'm saying? Your parents, you probably knew about tarot when you were 3. If you have Neptune in the fourth, or magic, voodoo, hoodoo, all of that type of stuff. It was something that was learned from you by your parents. You know, so that's an interesting thing about that. You know, you wouldn't have necessarily learned that stuff on your own. It would definitely be from the influence of your parents and your early upbringing, or like a grandparent or something like that, or another family member, just somebody in your family member introduced you to healing practices. Doesn't matter which one, they introduced you to healing practices, or music, or art, or something along those lines. You get that influence from them. So Neptune in the fourth is very interesting. It could be a very beautiful life, but it could also be very lonely, depending on kind of how you go about navigating that Neptune in the fourth. So just be careful. You could be victims of burglaries and break-ins, because Neptune does have to deal with theft and things like that. So definitely be careful. Your papa could have been a Rolling Stone, or your mama, because Neptune does have to deal with cheating and lies. A lot of lies in your family. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult to uncover the truth of what really went down in your family over the generations and things like that. So definitely be mindful of that. But a very interesting, kind of haunting placement. All right, so thank you so much for listening. Let me know if this resonates with you. If you have this placement, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.